The idea of these family law courts is to wear you down. What you'll do is you'll continuously go back and forth to these family courts, and you'll find that the lawyers will ignore you. Everyone will ignore you. You'll find that your lawyer is not there actually for you. He is there for the system. He is part of the system. He is making revenue for the system. So the thing is what they do is they continuously get you to come to court. They give you little tidbits. They ignore what's happening with your case. They ignore all the fraud on the court. And then when they feel as though you're cooked, well, then you will actually then go and see the psychiatrist. The idea is to continuously wear you down to such an extent that it's time for you to go and see the psychiatrist. So what I'm going to do is show you how psychiatrists are not there to determine what the cause is. They are there to make an assessment not based on any cause. So the thing is you have a medical practitioner. He actually has to have a look at the problem, and he goes, oh yes, and he does these tests and these tests. Whereas a psychiatrist, he doesn't need to look at any of the history to understand the problem. He will just make an assessment based on an opinion. And the thing is everything that they do is a myth, and I will prove that. So you've studied the system, and you're analysing it, and you're thinking, well, okay, so the government, due to separation of powers, can't actually deal with your case, and then the lawyers won't deal with it. The children's lawyer is ignoring you when he has an oath to the courts to actually ensure that these cases are going as fast as possible. However, that doesn't make any business sense to actually do that. And then you actually think, well, maybe the psychiatrist will actually have a look at things. Before he can actually make a prognosis, he has to determine the problem. And when he actually has determined the problem, you would think after 20 years of working for the court system, that he would actually report the problem. He actually even states to me that lawyers play games. Now, what has lawyers got to do with playing games with children's lives? This has got nothing to do with children. As I said, this has got to do with money.
John, lawyers play games.
Yeah, I know.
That's what they do.
I know.
Right? Now, you need to you're going to have to be humble pie.
Exactly. I do.
Alright? Because, you come out of all this. I mean, the question for the court are you profoundly depressed? It doesn't seem like it, does it?
I was profoundly. When I first met you, I was severe, and I was worried, and I was shaking. Basically, I've been talking to everyone is in Lifeline and all those.
But you're not having medication?
No.
Are you on medication now?
No, definitely not.
Okay. So if you're not depressed, then what they're going to say is, has this man got a personality problem?
Just eating a bit of humble fruitcake pie. Now, so a psychiatrist, he believes that because you're not showing signs of depression in the room, that basically they can diagnose you that you're not depressed. When I've got around about, I don't know, in Whistleblower Acts, I've got about 2,500 friends, and they've seen how depressed I have been. And the thing is so because you're not taking medication, well then obviously you are not depressed, and you have something called Exacerbatory disease. Now, let me explain Exacerbatory disease. It's like everything else that is in the psychiatrist manual. I've got exactly the same disease as everyone else who actually goes through family court, or at least 50%, because if they interview the other parent, well then one of you is exactly the same as everyone else. You're stuffed when you actually go to the family courts and to the psychiatrists.
And there's so many documents that I've requested and I've itemised, and they've just had the refusal to reply to the email or to even furnish me with the documents.
That's the question, I think, which is
proving that, proving these there was over 69 false allegations within the first affidavit.
And so what? I mean, people lie in the family court trial. That's what they do.
But I didn't.
That's beside the point.
So what? So removing my child due to false allegations, and that's to Dr. Chalk is so what? Everyone lies in a family court. So he admits it, that it's acceptable practice for everyone to lie. Judges, lawyers, everyone. This is normal to a psychiatrist.
Well then, I thought I was hoping for a little bit of fairness in that. I mean,
I think you have got fairness. I think you have got fairness.
Okay.
I mean, you know, when I first met you, as I understand, you were having supervised contracting.
Out of context.
Out of context, all right? And I think I made the point in my report that, you know, I had some concerns, but I was prepared for this to move forwards.
Now, because, see, we've got doctors playing lawyers and lawyers playing doctors. It's very, very confusing to everyone because no one does their job. Everyone tries to do other people's jobs. Now, so it's okay and it's acceptable for a child to be removed in a legal activity. So my next video after this one is going to teach how the mother can make false allegations to police and to remove a child. But according to Dr. Chalk, this is fair.
To her?
Yes, I would regard it as paranoid in flavour and threatening. It's certainly stalking. I think you're probably lucky you haven't had a stalking charge.
Interesting. So lawyers don't have to do anything. They can just simply ignore the fraud on the court, and they can collude, and the mother's lawyer will sit there and lie a little head off. And basically this, when complaining about it and saying, well, you want something done to stop this is becoming torture after 3 years, then basically that is stalking, according to the psychiatrist. We'll go on.
If they ignore
Hang on.
and don't do their job.
Hang on. Don't tell them they're not doing their job. Where's that getting you? Where's that got you?
I know.
No. Now you've got Mike Emerson.
Backwards.
Now you've got Mike Emerson. Right? You know Mike Emerson?
No, what's he like?
He's a lot tougher.
Yeah. I noticed that. He's absolutely, arrogant, I find.
He's a lot tougher. But don't cross swords with him.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Don't cross swords with me.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
No.
I believe all the way through, Doctor, you've been fair.
I've tried to be very fair, but I will destroy people in court.
So here we have the bum protecting agency, which is Dr. Chalk, and the thing was we went to court, and then I asked him, did he suggest that I do not try and ask him questions or the children's lawyer questions, or that he threatened me that he will destroy, or that he does destroy people in court? And he said, no, I didn't say that. Now, Magistrate Denmark refused to listen and allow the recordings that I had made secretly to be heard in the courtroom. She had to go to chambers. We waited. She came back and she looked at me and she said, I'm having trouble hearing. And she puts her hand like this and says, I have trouble hearing what is said. And she ignored the fraud on the court. She ignored that Dr. Chalk, in his medical profession, threatens me, and also that he committed perjury in the courtroom.
Okay?
Yeah, I did have a
So how the hell did we end up in a situation where you're in a 3-day court hearing, you pissed off the judge? She was very pissed off.
She was. She kicked out my barrister.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
She was pissed off with him,
I know.
and she should have been pissed off with him.
I brought a lawyer in, especially for my court case, who was external to the family court lawyers. I didn't want one that was part of the system. And he was there, and he had dead intent in proving that these lawyers had actually cruelled me and I had done nothing wrong. And in fact, the mother also stated in the courtroom, admitted in evidence, that I had done nothing wrong in the 3 years that we were going through court. So why did Magistrate Denmark take it out on me? Because my lawyer wanted to expose what was happening. And why did she, in the second day, threaten to put me back into a contact centre if we hadn't finished within 3 days, and blame it on me and blame it on my child? We're going to explain that.
Not that it's unfair that I didn't do anything wrong.
When was life fair?
I thought courts were supposed to be fair.
No, the courts are about justice.
They're not about justice. I've got no justice at all for what the mother has done.
Whatever. Life's not fair. Life's never been fair. Well, if life's not fair, I'd be out of a job.
I would like to see 3 things happen in a court situation: unbiasedness, fairness, and justice. Courts are about justice. I want to see justice. I want justice.
Think about what you're doing. Yeah. And this is what she was saying about narcissism, is that we're all narcissistic to a degree. But the thing is that you seem to have just kept on doing this, even though you were being given signals to say, look, stop. This is not the way to behave.
So Dr. Chalk is very aware that the judge suggested that, made a medical prognosis that I had narcissism, and the same with my lawyer. And the thing was so due to the fact that we were there to expose, she decided that, well, time to go see the quack, because basically I don't want you to expose this.
My time with my daughter was reduced because basically false allegation.
But your time with your daughter's been reduced now because of you.
Well,
and your barrister.
Yeah.
Because reduced you and the barrister.
Well, the barrister really pissed off the magistrate, as you said. Yeah. I mean, I didn't do anything. I sat at the back of the courtroom, and I've already been told I'm not to have a go at any of the officers of the court. They're professionals, so who am I to argue with that?
Okay. And your barrister, I think it's a difficult time. Okay.
As you can hear, Dr. Chalk is very aware that my time has been reduced because of, okay, he may be blaming me, but he's also blaming my barrister. So because of my barrister, the judge has decided to harm my daughter and give her less time because of my barrister's actions. Something very suspicious.
You've gone from a position where things have improved to a position now where it's completely wretched, basically. Come back to where you started.
Yep, the mother breaches the court orders, and I got to go back into the contact center.
That's right.
So let's have a think about this for a second. So the mother breaches court orders, the mother lies on the court, no one cares that my child was removed because of it, and basically I'm back at square one because I did everything I was supposed to do, but I complained about it, and because I complained about it, well, I pissed off the judge.
And their nappies, not being part of their parental responsibility, ignoring the fact that a doctor has said I was the primary carer of my daughter, ignoring the fact that...
John, you have a gun?
Huh?
You have a gun?
A what?
A gun.
A water pistol,
A
yeah.
gun. Do you have one? I'd go and get one.
Why?
You might shoot yourself in that foot.
So a psychiatrist can actually suggest about getting a gun and shooting yourself. Well, the thing is people go to psychiatrists because there is a problem. I was forced to go and see a psychiatrist, and I'm forced to deal with this nut. The thing is it gets much worse than this, and wait until you see everything that was ignored and the collusion between all these people. Thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you in the next one.